Hey guys, what's going on? Jeb here, and in today's video, we have some very important shorter-term technical analysis to be doing on Bitcoin because during the 15% correction that we have seen happen on Bitcoin over the last few days, I've seen a lot of people come to the assumption and the prediction that $10,000 is the bottom on Bitcoin. And while I think we all most certainly hope that is the case, in today's video, I'm going to be presenting to you why $10,000 might actually not be the bottom of this market and why it might in fact be as low as $9,000. A lot of people are encouraging you to buy Bitcoin right now, but is now the best time or is a better deal incoming? We're going to be discussing all of that and more in today's video. Guys, I think you're going to enjoy today's video. If you do, as always, consider hitting that like button. It helps rank the videos in the YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't already, it's come to my attention that nearly 40% of you are not subscribed to the channel, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 75k subs by the end of the year, 100k by Valentine's Day. Something really special is going to happen when we hit 100k. You guys will see that when it comes. But without much further ado, guys, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Before we go ahead and jump on into it, I do want to mention that today we have gone ahead and started a new sale on CT2A. That is the coupon code September 2020. You can use that at checkout. More on that at the end of the video. But in today's video, guys, I also want to briefly touch on exactly what's going on the Bitcoin chart because, as you guys know, we are trading around the region of $10,000, arguably one of the most important levels of support that Bitcoin has tested since 6K all the way back in the day. That was not supposed to rhyme, but it did, and I'm quite pleased about it. I'm not gonna lie. If you watched yesterday's video, you'll know that we went ahead and defined this zone of support that Bitcoin is currently trading in, the top being 10.5, which is one of the bigger levels of support and resistance that we've seen Bitcoin test and reject from over the last several years. And in fact, we also drew the bottom as $10,000, as 10K is a big even, one of the things we discuss in CT2A. We also have this downtrending level of resistance right here that is, just the longest and most powerful trend line in the history of the entire cryptocurrency market below us. So there's that. So if we have all of this support, then why am I saying that Bitcoin is going to pull back to $9,000? Well, before we go ahead and dive into why I'm making that prediction, I need to explain what kind of prediction this is. Because, guys, when people are making predictions in markets, they should always come with a percentage chance of likelihood. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say that there is a certain percentage chance that Bitcoin is going to do a certain thing. For example, pulling back to $9,000. There is always going to be a chance that that does not happen. So a lot of times when you make a prediction like a pullback to $9,000 within the next 14 days, you would say, I give that about a 60% likelihood of happening and about a 40% likelihood of some other bullish or bearish factors pushing Bitcoin in a different direction. I mean, for example, there might be a 0.1% chance that within those same 14 days, Bitcoin goes to 100K. That could happen. So you want to be clear when you're making predictions that you're not just saying, this is going to happen, it's guaranteed, it's factual, because no matter if Bitcoin does what you say it's going to do or not, you are going to be wrong because it was not guaranteed that Bitcoin was going to do that. I hope you guys see the point in that. So with that said, I'm going to start with my prediction and work backwards to why I believe it. I believe there's a roughly 50 to 60% chance that Bitcoin's going to pull back to around 9 to 9.3 in the next 7 to 14 days. And the reason I say that, we are leading into now. Yes, Bitcoin is above some very powerful support, but the thing is, Bitcoin rallied quite a long way over the last several months. And even if Bitcoin is above some very powerful support, there's also a lot of people in a lot of profit that are looking to lock in those gains, and they are doing that right now. You can see that Bitcoin has been flagging out over the last 4 days. We pulled back, rallied, pulled back, rallied, pulled back. We have been trending to the downside right here. In fact, Bitcoin is rejecting off of the top of the zone of resistance and pulling back and testing the bottom of it more so than the top. If you notice all these little wicks down here, all those little lower shadows punching below 10K, those are little chinks in the armor of this support level, and every time Bitcoin starts to do that, we increase the likelihood that we're going to fall through it. So this is very powerful support, and I don't think we'll stay below it long. Because it is very powerful support, will likely be pulled back up above it within a week or two of falling below it. But I do think there's a chance that Bitcoin falls below it, and here's why. Bitcoin, from this peak to where it has pulled back to right now, has pulled back about 17.5%. If we look at candle top to about the middle of this pullback, we see that Bitcoin pulled back about 14%. This is a type of flag right here. This is a bear flag. Depending on how you draw it on the lower time frames, it might either be a bear flag or a bear pennant. It doesn't really matter because the point is these normally show up in the middle of a trend, which would expect Bitcoin to pull back another 13 to 14%. And guess where that puts us? Around $8,800 to $9,000. With Bitcoin continually pushing through and breaking this level of support and then bouncing above it. I mean, if we look down on the minute chart right now, especially while I'm recording this video, Bitcoin just keeps doing that. Look at this minute chart. Does this look bullish to you? Even this hourly chart, we are seeing lower highs and lower lows all the way to the bank. And Bitcoin may be putting in this little inverse H&S right here, and maybe that'll bounce us. As I said, there's always a chance that your prediction is not going to come true, and if it doesn't, I'll be the first to tell you. But I personally think it will, just knowing how these markets work based on my over 3 years of experience in these markets, working in them every single day. I generally have a pretty good feeling of what the market is going to do, and I do feel that it's going to pull back. Another reason for that has to do with the head and shoulders pattern that we discussed in yesterday's video. That normally is going to play out a little bit more than what it has so far. If we go ahead and draw our shoulder line right there, and then do a simple price prediction based on the shoulder line, we can see that that should put Bitcoin at the very least below 10K, likely down around 9.6 to 9.3, depending on where you put that price target. I'm not the biggest fan of Head & Shoulders price targets, but just so you know, there it is. One thing to keep in mind, though, also, is that the break to the downside might not happen today. In fact, it might not happen in the next 3 days. Now, I want to make this very clear because I'm not necessarily sure when it's going to happen, and the reason I say it might not happen today is because of the daily chart RSI. If you've looked at it, you will notice it is hitting pretty hard on the 33 to 34 level. Not much more room to pull back before it starts pulling into oversold territory. And the reason why it's important that it doesn't pull below 30 is because if you look at the entire history of the Bitcoin market, it's not very common that Bitcoin pulls below 30. We saw it happen a little bit here, but as you can see, all these little minor pullbacks over in 2017, 2018, normally they didn't pull back below about 28. This is not a massive, just soul-crushing pullback, so it's unlikely we're going to push that low, which means that we're probably not going to pull back below like 26 on the RSI, meaning we could maybe pull back another 10 points on RSI, meaning that if we were to trade sideways for a few days above this level of support, that would give time for the RSI to reset a little bit and then potentially go ahead and do that pullback. And by the way, that RSI is one of the big reasons why I don't think Bitcoin is pulling much below 9K. Also, if you didn't watch yesterday's video, there is a ton of VPVR support down around 9K. It would be surprising if Bitcoin fell below there, but I do see Bitcoin pulling back to at least 9.5, probably 9.3, and maybe even 9,000 flat in the next 7 to 14 days. That is my prediction, and we shall see if it comes to pass. Anyway, guys, I think it's very important that we make predictions and we put them out there and we test our own analysis and that we are comfortable being wrong. Because when you make predictions, you're going to be wrong sometimes. But the point of trading is not to always be right. In fact, it's not even to not fail. The point of trading is to fail so many times, so often, so fast, and then make sure you are learning as much as humanly possible from each one of those failures, that you grow as quickly as you can so that you don't miss out on the next bull market. It is extremely important that you're focused on failing so that you can learn and then you can earn. That is the trio by which you will progress in cryptocurrency markets. And by the way, I believe that education in cryptocurrency markets is so very important that we've built our entire business on it because it is that important. Guys, if you're new to cryptocurrency and you want to learn how to trade these markets, I highly encourage you to invest in your education. We have something called the Cryptocurrency Technical Analysis Academy. It's the one-stop shop for our subscribers to learn everything they need to know about trading cryptocurrency markets. If you're interested in learning more about CT2A and about Bitcoin and crypto markets, I encourage you to check us out. The link in the description down below. The coupon code September 2020 is currently active. But anyway, guys, that is going to have to do it for today's video. Before I go, though, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.